The showcase of the best players in the NFL is coming up as we celebrate the latest edition of the Pro Bowl. The stars of the AFC and NFC are ready to shine. Next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, it's the penultimate game of the NFL calendar. AFC versus NFC in the NFL Pro Bowl game. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, and Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
The best players the NFL has to offer on one stage. The AFC-NFC Pro Bowl underway here in Vegas. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
A guy coming off his best season as a pro. Here's Nick Chubb. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 3. They run it again with Chubb. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. They go play action. Now Mahomes. That ball caught. It's Mike Andrews, the tight end. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on first down. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and off play action. Here's Mahomes looking downfield for Kelsey. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now Mahomes. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the return will stop right around the 25. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And they get to him right out of the gate. And this defense hoping that that's a harbinger of things to come.
Yeah, when you give up a first-play sack, makes your quarterback wonder if he's going to go to the sidelines and talk with his offense coordinator and head coach and say, hey, you know that game plan we put together? We might need to change it right now. And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Watch out for Hill on the return. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. So now the AFC offense here coming back out for their second drive. Now they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. And again, it's Chubb. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now Mahomes looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cox. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The AFC with a football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Chubb will try the middle here. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Hill going to go in motion right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it. He's got a man, complete, and he'll be out of bounds. That's good for 28 yards.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run, and I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Chubb is into the end zone. Touchdown AFC. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind-melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. So now we'll get our second look in this game at the NFC offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Hurts to throw. Here's a screen now for Pollard. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On 1st down, Hurts. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
They'll roll him, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
The drive had started well after a punt last time. Now it's slowed down a bit, and let's face it, they don't want to punt the ball back-to-back series. They want a sustained drive on this one.
Hurts. Middle of the field to Jefferson. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And that is no good. And the deficit will stay at 2 field goals.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Mahomes firing complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, trying to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that, incomplete. Daylight in front if he could have held on, but he didn't. So instead, it's 2nd down.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And his throw is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Tucker's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here now the NFC to take over on offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first.
Well, the pressure gets home, and the AFC comes up with a sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
This time they stay on the ground. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. And this returnable for Hill. So we have hit halftime of the Pro Bowl with the AFC leading the NFC. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the NFC to possess it first as we are back and underway for the 3rd quarter. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The NFC offense heads out to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stock troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. Play action. Here's Hurts. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Max Crosby charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. And he's going to go down again. Matthew Judon in there to take him down.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the NFC. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and that will come the offense as they take over. Offense now heading out for their first drive of the second half. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. In motion, Hill. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's the AFC with the football and the lead as we begin quarter number 4. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Chubb on the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
First throw now for the backup Allen. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A gain of 22. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Here's Allen to throw it. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. On play action, Allen. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Devontae Adams, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to add on to their advantage. A 15-point game now. You make the extra point, and that means on the other side you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. That's a pretty tall order here in the 4th quarter.
Agreed, because they really needed to come up with a stop there, and even if it was just to hold them to a field goal. Now they need to pull out the lucky horseshoe because they've got to get an onside kick, and we've seen nowadays those are incredibly difficult to come by.
And not to mention they got to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion first. So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
From the gun, it's Hurts. He's got Brown on the out route complete. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Connects with Kittle underneath. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Again to the big tight end, George Kittle. Whistles in a timeout at the 2:05 mark. So this defense wanting to get one more pause in before the 2-minute warning, and they do just that. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw again. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. CeeDee Lamb from 6 yards away. And the NFC able to get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be secured by the AFC. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now Allen. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now a first carry for their fullback. Now the NFC going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. Second down at 5. A give. This is Chubb. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely sure. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. And now here's a sneak, maybe looking to run a little time. And a short gain here, down to the 22. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw, Allen. Mark Andrews, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Tucker now to add the point after. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts, not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2, but I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
And it is gobbled up by the NFC. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Second down, here's Hurts. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Here's Hurts to throw. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory?
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. That's the first thing we look for in this game. Well played, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I think that everyone's going to go home pretty happy, especially the AFC since they won the game.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL.